So on the next page we have a couple more examples, and I didn't want to go through each of them, but these are the answers that I have, and you can go ahead and compare yours with those. And then we have our focused learning target part 2. It's I can determine whether a triangle is a right triangle. And to do that, we can also use the Pythagorean theorem, because if you switch the phrases after the if-then in an if-then statement, the result is the converse of the statement. And the converse of the Pythag theorem can be used to determine whether a triangle is a right triangle. So we'll go ahead and go through that and see exactly how. Another detail, another vocabulary word is the Pythagorean triple. And what does that mean? That means if we have 3 numbers that satisfy the Pythagorean theorem, that means that those 3 numbers represent the sides of a triangle that is a right triangle. Here's one example. Here's another example. You can substitute in the numbers for A, B, and C and see that they do equal to each other when they're squared and summed. But also the multiples of Pythagorean triples also satisfy the converse Pythagorean theorem. So if we have these 3 sides, the 3, 4, and the hypotenuse of length 5 satisfying the Pythagorean theorem, then multiples of these values also satisfy. So 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 4, 8, and 2 times 5, 10 also satisfy the Pythagorean theorem. We can do that with any number. You can multiply each of these numbers with 5, and those sides will also satisfy the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use that to determine whether these sides here represent a Pythagorean triple. So how does this work? Well, C is going to be the hypotenuse, and we know that C is the biggest, the longest side. So this here is going to be our C of 14, right? Then we have leg 1 and leg 2. So what's the Pythagorean theorem? It's a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So 100 squared plus 12 squared is equal to 14 squared. So that turns into 100 plus 144 is equal to, what is 14 squared? So I'm breaking out my calculator here, and I say 14 times 14, 196. And so we add these up, and we get 244 is equal to 196, and that's not true. So no, does not form a Pythagorean triple, right? We'll do the same for this one over here, and so obviously the 25 is our hypotenuse, and so that's C, and we have A and B, so we can set it up as 7 squared plus 24 squared is equal to 25 squared. And if this equation holds, then that means that the triangle represented by A, B, and C must be a right triangle, right? So we'll have 49 plus 24 squared, that's 576, is equal to 25 squared, so that's 625. And so what is that going to equal? It's 5, 1, so that's a 2, and then a 1 and 6. So this one does hold, right? The equation does hold. So yes, we do have a Pythagorean triple, which means that the triangles represented with these side lengths are a right triangle, right? And so, yeah, I'll go ahead and post up the answers down here in the next video.